We use the active voice to make our sentences crystal clear. It's at the heart of good communication. In this video, we're going to look at 3 things. Firstly, what the active voice means. Secondly, how to make an active sentence. And thirdly, we're going to look at 3 reasons as to why we use it. So let's start with the definition. What does the active voice mean? The active voice means that someone or something is performing an action, which we may refer to as the doer. When we write in the active, the doer comes before the verb. For example, Jack drives the car. Who drives the car? Jack. Jack is doing the action of driving. He is the doer. Drives is the verb. Example 2. Many people will sign Jack's birthday card. Who will sign the card? Many people. Sign is the verb. It's the people who are doing the action. Example 3. The Gold Star Hotel is hosting a conference. The doer in this sentence is the Gold Star Hotel. The hotel is the doer. Is the verb. Example 4. Management would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Who is the one sending good wishes? Management. Management is the doer. It's the subject of the sentence. Like is the verb. So now let's look at why it's good to use the active voice. Number 1, we use the active voice because it's much easier to comprehend. We understand information more clearly. The human brain can process around 500 words per minute and talk at around 120 to 150 words a minute. If we don't speak or write in the active voice, these figures decrease, they go down. If we were to write and speak fully in the passive voice, then we would need more time to process and understand the information. Let's try it out. Here are 2 sentences. Which one is easier to understand? 1. An exchange of contracts was made by the agents last week. 2. The agents exchanged contracts last week. Which sentence was quicker to understand? If you said sentence 2, then you're right. It's quicker and it's easier. And it's easier to understand because it's active. The first sentence is what we call the passive voice. The phrase was made is the action. And who did the action? The agents. But in the passive voice, this information, the doer, comes last. In our second sentence, this information is right at the beginning of the sentence. The agents exchanged contracts last week. The doer is at the front. We think in the active voice. We plan in the active voice. We naturally speak in the active voice. Let's look at the second reason. Number 2. We use less words in the active. Let's look again at the previous examples, starting with the passive. An exchange of contracts was made by the agents last week. And the active. The agents exchanged contracts last week. The passive sentence has 11 words. However, our active sentence only has 6. That's a saving of 5 words. The third reason, messages are conveyed more clearly because we use less words. And it's easier to understand. Our messages are clearer when it's easier. Language is about communication. Being a good communicator is knowing how to be succinct. Succinct means being concise and clear. Having said this, there is a place for the passive voice, and I'll cover that in a different video.